Hi, I'm Jesse Russell. I'm the owner and operator of Hiatus Homes. We are a builder and development company of small, efficient spaces. We're here at the Hiatus, which is our first development. It's a 22-unit cottage development. So this is our studio model. It's just under 600 square feet with 2 lofts. If you look at the outside, you can see our solar panels that are on top of the roof. This is a zero energy house, so it actually produces more energy than is needed by the homeowner. On the outside, you can see our deck here. Storage is, of course, a really important thing with a smaller home. So we have our bike box here. So this is the bike box. You can wheel your bike in there and lock it up at night. And then on the deck itself, we have some storage benches. So these benches just flip up and you can put whatever you need in there. Tons of space. And then for things that you don't use that often, we have the crawl space, which is down here. So this accesses the entire crawl space of the house. And then kayaks, Christmas ornaments, all that type of stuff can be stored under here. So having a community that's this dense, privacy becomes an issue with the homes. So one of the things that we added is this pergola. Basically, we have the slats go up and then over. That helps to give just a little bit of privacy from your neighbor. But we stopped it here so that the full light door can let tons of light into the living room. All right, let's go inside. So this is the main room in the house. It's a studio. So we have an open kitchen living room. In the living room, you can see that we have storage stairs. These are really important because there's always such a need for storage. So clothing in here. And then we have 3 big drawers that are down here. And then 3 drawers here, and then additional shelves for various things. This is a Baltic birch that was made on a CNC machine by one of my buddies that lives here in town. And then we also have the kerf wall, which is over here. Same material, Baltic birch. And this just gives a person an opportunity to kind of personalize the space for them, depending on what kind of storage they need. All right, let's head upstairs. All right, so this is the sleeping loft. The highest point is 6 feet, and then it slopes down from there. This can also be used for an office. Some people have put their desk in their office up here and then sleep downstairs. So one of the features I love about our house is this railing. It was designed by Christian, our designer, and then it's built by my friend Sky, who has a welding shop in town. It's really cool to me in a small space. Just having a few features that are more of an art piece is super important. And the other thing I really love about being up here is it's very open. This whole design is meant to be totally open. You can see down to the kitchen if your friends or family are down there. You can also see across to the second loft, and it really gives this space that's small. It gives it kind of a large feeling. So next we have the kitchen. I think one of the other important things when you're building in small spaces is that you keep the materials at a certain level. We have quartz countertops, which I really love. Another thing with our upper cabinets, these are kind of the same material as our kerf wall and our storage stairs. So you see that design element and that color kind of comes through the whole space. So here in the kitchen, I think one of the interesting things is, we have a very small space that we're living in here. So we did do 24-inch appliances, the range and the refrigerator. One of the things about having the smaller appliances, there's most likely only going to be a couple people living in here at a time. It also enabled us to have a lot more counter space and to have this really large sink, which is super important for when you're washing dishes. And one of the other features I really love about this house is our backsplash here. I think it just really works really well with the grays and the whites. And then back in this area is the bathroom. And for such a small space, a small house, we have what I feel is a really comfortable bathroom. Nice subway tile on the back here. We went with these black and white and gray theme, just so the homeowner could come in and kind of add their own color to the palette. So the barn door comes back, closes the bathroom up, and then reveals the stackable washer and dryer. Okay, one last space, and this is my favorite space in the house, the secondary loft. Accessed by the ladder. So this is a secondary loft. It could be used for guests that are coming from out of town. I've seen other people get a bean bag up here. It's a nice spot just to have a glass of wine and read. But this is definitely one of my favorite parts of this entire house. So our flooring in here is an engineered hickory. It's a really great floor. I think it's really beautiful, but also it's just super durable. We have some people that have dogs in their houses, and so far so good, no scratches at all. So our footprint in this house is about 400 square feet. When you add the lofts to it, it gets to be about 598 square feet total. The way the Hiatus is laid out, there's a bunch of different paths that go around the entire development. And when you leave your porch and you walk down your path, you bump into your neighbors. So you're encouraged to see your neighbors, talk to your neighbors, find out what's going on. And I think it really adds to the overall sense of community that everyone has here. So we have 4 clusters and various kind of community shared spaces. This is behind me is one of the community gardens that's shared by our 4th cluster that we're in here. We have an additional community garden that's in the 1st cluster, plus we have a really nice pond and a walking path that the entire community is able to share. The Hiatus is a 22-unit cottage development. Cottage developments are built so that the traffic and the parking is behind the house, and then the house is faced inward in clusters. So instead of traditional land development, the cottage housing idea, which largely comes from Ross Chapin, an architect in Portland, the idea is to cluster the houses. So we have different degrees of privacy, right? So you're in your common area, that's no privacy at all. You see your neighbors, you talk to them. All the paths that kind of lead from house to common areas, they're all designed so that you actually run into someone. And then if you're on your porch, you're semi-private. You can wave to your neighbor. And then when you get into your house, you're 100% private. But you're in control of that. One of the advantages of living in a small house is you're reducing your overall square footage of your house, which means that you require much less gas, heating, electricity. All of that stuff is reduced. The average house in America is 2,600 square feet. Our studio model is 600 square feet. Our 2-bedroom, 2-bath is only 900 square feet. And because we've reduced the overall size of the house, we're able to make most of these houses zero energy houses. So you put solar on there and the solar supplies all of the energy that the house needs. That reduces the CO2 emissions greatly, and it's just kind of the right thing to do. And the first place to try to do that is by reducing the size of the house. We were trying to build a $200,000 house. That was our goal. We thought that was a pretty good price to try to do that. In Bend, we have this thing called system development charges. So any house that is built has to pay the city system development charges. So those charges are parks and rec, water, sewer, and traffic. They amount to somewhere between $25,000 and $28,000 per house. But the crazy thing is it's not scaled for the size of house. So our 600 square foot house that we're trying to sell for, at that point, mid-2s, we're paying, that $25,000. The same builder who's building a $5 or $10 million house out in, Tethero, they're paying that same amount. So it's not scaled. There's been a lot of work that's been done through the cottage code on density, where we can now build more densely in Bend. That helps with the affordability of the houses. But the next big thing is for City of Bend to look at the system development charges and try to scale them for the size of the house. So the Hiatus was my first development, and I think I'm just really proud that it all came together the way it did, and that the residents that are all living in the community now are friends with each other, and it's just been really amazing to have the idea and then to be so supported by so many people to actually finish it. And now we hope to do many more of these. We're doing one more development that will be slightly larger houses, but we have more of these smaller houses coming as well. Thanks for checking our house, and come and see us at hiatushomes.com.
Thank you for watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Patreon for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.